All right, y'all, let's look at some strip diagrams here, okay? So number one says Bob and Sally are artists. At the showcase, Bob sold $989 worth of paintings, and Sally sold $643 worth of sculptures. All of the money earned was given to 4 charities. Each charity received an equal amount, A. Which equation can be used to find A, the amount of money that each charity received? Let's go ahead and cube this real quick. Let's get the key numbers working. 989, 643, and then 4 are our key numbers, okay? Our math action words. I see all, yes. I see given. I see each. I see equal amount, okay? And they want to know how much each charity received. So they took all of their money. So the first thing I need to do is do what? Find out how much money there is altogether. And that's going to require me to add these two amounts of money together. So that automatically eliminates A and B. So I'm going to add up that money, and then what am I going to do? Well, each charity gets an equal amount, so this one gets a fourth of it, this one gets a fourth of it, this one gets a fourth of it, this one gets a fourth of it. If I'm talking about fourths, right, do you see how this is divided up into 4 different pieces? And they each had the same letter. If they each had the same letter, that means they're going to be the same number, and I would get that by dividing. The answer is C. Okay? So I would add up their money and then divide it up into 4 different pieces, and that's going to tell me how much each of those 4 charities received because they each received an equal amount. Okay? Number 2, Elizabeth bought 2 boxes of floor tiles. One box had 100 floor tiles. Second box had 50 floor tiles. Elizabeth used 136 of those tiles to cover her bedroom floor. Which equation can be used to find T, the number of remaining tiles? Okay, so let's start with our whole. We know that she started out with 150, so I'm going to need to add those to find out how much she had altogether to begin with, right? 100 plus 50, that means I can eliminate answer choice B because they're subtracting. 100 minus 50, that's not what we're doing. After we find out how many tiles that she started with, then she used means what? Subtracting. She used 136 of them, okay? So we need to add up that 100 plus 50 to find out what our whole is, and then we're going to subtract the part that she used, and that'll tell us the part that she didn't use, the part that is left, the remaining tiles, which means the answer has to be A. 100 plus 50, then subtract the 36, and that will equal T. Let's talk about why it's not C. It's not C because I'm not adding 136. I'm not saying that she bought 136 more tiles, right? No. And then D can't be right because it doesn't say that she bought 1 box of 100 and 1 box of 136 and then she used 50, right? It said that she had bought 1 box with 100, 1 box with 50, and used 136. Got to pay attention to what words are going with which numbers, okay? So the answer to that one is A. Audra, Mary, and Sarah are sisters. Audra is 14 years old. Mary is 4 years younger than Audra, and Sarah is 8 years younger than Audra. So which equation can be used to find S, the sum of the girls' ages? So, Audra is how old? Audra is 14. Mary is 4 years younger than Audra. If it's younger, how am I going to find out Mary's age? I can do Audra's age minus 4. What's 14 minus 4? So, hold on. Audra equals 14, right? Mary would be 14 minus 4 because I want to take Audra's age, and she's 4 years younger, which means she's 4 years less than Audra, okay? And then Sarah is 8 years younger than Audra. So Audra is, again, 14, and 8 years younger means she's 8 years less than Audra, so it would be 14 minus 8. So this is how old Audra is. This is how old Mary is. This is how old Sarah is. They want to know the sum. Sum means I'm going to be doing what with all of those ages? Adding them up, okay? I see that they're subtracting the ages here, and they're subtracting the ages here. Do you see those subtraction signs? Again, wrong. And let's talk about why this one. So let's look at which one has all three of these ages like this added together. H does. It would be 14 plus 14 minus 4 plus 14 minus 8. That would be the sum of all three of their ages. Let's talk about why it's not F. F said 14 plus 4. 14 plus 4 would mean that Mary is 4 years older than Audra. If she was older than Audra, we would take Audra's age and add 4 to it, but that's not what they said. They said that Mary is younger than Audra. Okay? And then same thing with Sarah. It says Sarah's 8 years younger, but then they added the age, which would mean that Sarah would have to be older than her, which is not true. So the answer is H. Let's look at number 4. Mitchell collected 120 apples from his orchard. He gave 4 dozen to members of his family. The remaining apples were sold to 6 stores. Each store received the same amount of apples. Okay. Which equation best represents A, the number of apples sold to each store? Okay. So I've got all my apples, right? 120 apples. That's how much he collected. And then I see that he gave 4 dozen. Well, how much is 4 dozen equal to? How much is in a dozen? 12 is in a dozen. You need to know that. Think about a dozen eggs. 12 eggs. Let's figure out what 12 times 4 is. What's 2 times 4? 8. 1 times 4? 4. So 4 dozen is 48. Let's put that right here. So what he's going to do is he's going to take that 120 and he's going to give 48 to his family. So he's going to take 48 away from that 120. He's not adding 48 more apples, right? So I can eliminate this one. Do you see how I'm working through these strip diagram questions? I'm looking at, one step at a time and looking at the answer choices. Okay, well, if this is the first step, it obviously can't be this one, or it obviously can't be this one. And then I look at the next step. Well, the next step is blah, 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 so I know it can't be this one or this one. Do you see how I'm working through process of elimination here? Okay, so these guys have 120 plus 4 or minus 4. It doesn't say just 4. What does it say? 4 dozen. 4 dozen. 4 dozen means I'm going to have to multiply that 4 times 12. So I know that it can't be plus 4 or minus 4, which only leaves one answer, but let's check it out. So 120 minus 48, so he started with 120. He gave 48 to his family. We're good so far because giving means we're subtracting. Then he took whatever was in that parentheses, whatever that answer is, and he divided the rest of them by 6. The rest would be whatever he got after he subtracted. He's going to divide it by 6 and give it to some stores, sell it to some stores. So each one gets the same amount. That's why they each had the same letter. Okay? So that's why we're going to divide by 6, because if we're wanting each one to get the same amount, then we would just divide it up into 6 equal parts. Okay? Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good night.